Hey guys, it's Lamar Woods coming at you with another video again. This video is the start of a new video series, and that is called One Beat at a Time. One beat at a time. What exactly does one beat at a time mean? One beat at a time is a play on words, essentially. Within the addiction recovery community, there is a common phrase, one day at a time. And what one day at a time means is recovery is hard, people struggle, people trip, people fall, and if you expect yourself to be perfect from the get-go, you're in danger. And so what you should focus on is one day at a time. Focus on your recovery one day at a time. Worry about today. Worry about not using today. And you are one step closer to your goal of being recovered, which is a lifelong journey. But you do get stronger in your journey the further you go. So no one is ever fully recovered. You are able to slip and fall at any time, just like anyone in life. But as you go further in your journey, you begin to build muscle. You begin to build the strength to weather harsher situations. Just like a young tree grows out of the ground and it could be stomped on immediately, or a strong wind could throw a branch on it and kill it immediately. You, or someone who you know who's struggling with recovery, could have their recovery trampled by one small circumstance, one small situation, one small argument, one small detail early in recovery. But the further you go in recovery, the stronger you become, the more resilient to challenges you become. And so I've come up with a vlog called One Beat at a Time. And it's called One Beat at a Time because of what I spoke on before, and because of the product that I'm working on called SoHeart. If you guys have not seen SoHeart yet, it's a drug addiction recovery app that helps people walk through recovery together. And essentially, it helps you find people that will support you as you're going through your recovery process. Now, one beat at a time. During One Beat at a Time, I'm going to go and share with you some of the backstage situations that happens within the development of SoHeart, within the creation of this business, and that will help multiple people in multiple ways. It'll, one, help by showing people that no one has it all together. Everyone slips, stumbles, and fails, and everyone starts from zero. It doesn't matter if you had been in recovery for 10 years, or if you've been in business for 10 years, or wherever you are. Everyone started with zero days in recovery, 0 subscribers, $0 in the bank account, 0 connections. And I am going to show my process of going from just about 0 people on the platform. It's a very young product that just dropped recently, to wherever it's going to be in the future, which is a lot larger than here. We're going to save lives, countless lives, and this is the beginning of that. Some years from now, I'm going to want to look at what I was like, what SoHeart was like back when it started. And this vlog, this content right here, one beat at a time, will give me everything that I'm looking for. It will be the time machine that I get to go jump into and remember exactly what it was like to be small. Not that I'm small, not that I was ever small. To be young. I like young. Young. To be young and not reckless. Anyway, so that's exactly what One Beat at a Time is about. I'm going to kick off One Beat at a Time by trying to do something that I've struggled to do within the past couple weeks, partially due to time and partially due to just the difficulty of the situation. What I've been trying to do for the past couple weeks when I wasn't working on this or that is trying to get people on the platform, obviously. But more specifically, I have a couple people on the platform, and I want to get these people on the platform some peers or sponsors to walk the recovery with. It takes time to get people on the platform, and I totally understand it. There's such thing as a chicken and egg problem here. But what is most important to me is getting support to the people who are in the community. Getting support to the people who have bought into SoHeart and are willing to grow with the platform as it's being worked on. And so what I want to do is I want to find a sponsor or a peer to walk through recovery with a specific person I have in mind who joined the platform recently, and see how that goes. I want to basically go through the process of getting this person, this peer or this sponsor, and show you guys what it's like for me to do that. And in the case that I don't find this person a sponsor or a peer, then I want you to see what it was like for me to not reach the goal. And so this is actually my scariest piece of content. Scary in terms of, it's just the most vulnerable content that I've created before, because I'm actually, not only am I saying what my goal is, but I'm going to show you me trying to reach that goal and trying to reach it within a certain amount of time, because I can't make this vlog over the course of many days. I want to make this content now. Even though I've been trying to do this for a while, I'm going to box myself in. I'm going to time box this task to about an hour. And I'm going to see if I can get this person a peer or a sponsor within the hour. So, follow me. Let's do this. Alright guys, after about an hour of cleaning up my office enough for me to show you my desk without hurling, I'm not ready to get going. So, step number 1 for me is go to the watering hole. And it sounds weird here, but if you're searching for anything, girlfriends, sponsors, investors, animals, literally anything, go to the watering hole. And I'm saying this as a person who does not know exactly how to get a sponsor, so let me just go ahead and take that sponsor part out. Maybe this is not the way to get it. We're going to find out. But essentially what I'm getting ready to do is I'm getting ready to go to where they are. Go to where the group that I want is. And so if you're looking for a sponsor or looking for some support right now, the first thing I would recommend is that you go to a recovery group, an active recovery group, or go to a meeting or an event where other people in recovery are going to be. That's going to be the fastest way you find a sponsor. It's going to be a bit different because I'm not actually the person who is in recovery. So there could be some oddness there, especially with some of the conversations, but we will see how this goes. So, like I said, step number 1, go to the watering hole. Where is the watering hole right now? Well, I can think of off the top of my head, I can think of maybe there would be some NA groups that I could go to. Maybe there would be some online meetings I can get into, or maybe there could be some online recovery groups that I could just hop into and start a couple of conversations in. I think that probably the lowest hanging fruit would be finding a community online. Also probably the safest due to COVID would be to find a recovery group online, jump into the recovery group, start some conversations, and see who I can get to hop on the platform or to at least agree to have a conversation with someone. Let's try it. You guys didn't hear that? You guys didn't hear that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to use my phone, and essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a recovery group, and I'm going to hop in, start a couple conversations. Let's try. Recovery. Celebrate recovery. Let's go. Bleh. Community. This is a group founded by some religious organization, and they've got a community. I'm going straight to the community tab. I'm jumping in, and I'm going to message the top fans. I mean, they literally just delivered their community to me. It's just the way it works. Thank you, Facebook. Am I allowed to say that? Facebook does not endorse this message, and I am a totally separate organization who is not partnered with Facebook, but I am using it for my business. Blah, 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 blah. I think that last part probably invalidates whatever disclaimer that was in the beginning. I will learn more later. As soon as I get the monies, I get the teams, the legals, and the legals will tell me whether or not that was okay. Until then, don't sue me, please. All right. So jumping right into here, I'm gonna message the top fans. Let's go with Billy Horton. Ooh, from Oklahoma. I love it. I'm gonna say, hey Billy, I know a person struggling with recovery, and I would love to know if you could have a conversation with them. Is this actually content? Are you engaged? Do you love this? Like, comment, and subscribe. Woo! Smack it. Is it right there? I think it's right there. Smack it. Smack that subscribe right now. My niece wants to know whether or not she can come down here and do some stuff. I'm a little bit busy. Nah, babe. Let me let Uncle do his thing down here, and I'll come up there in a minute.
Okay.
Do I plan on coming up there in a minute? Maybe. I'll be up there in a second. Of course. Leave my baby hanging. And by my baby, I mean my niece. Why do I even need to disclaim that? Strike that last disclaimer. That is my baby. I got approximately 1.5 babies, and I'll tell you more on that later. I'm trying. Let's keep rolling. Alright guys, now I've got to give you the hard truth. I did not reach my goal. I did not reach my goal of finding a specific sponsor for this specific person on my platform. And doesn't feel amazing to say. But the fact that I didn't reach the goal only makes it so much more sweet for when I do reach it. I'm going to get someone. Someone is going to be helped. And someone is going to do the helping. I'm going to find that someone. So, just to give you a bit of a recap, the entire goal for yesterday was to find a watering hole, go into this crowd or grouping of people and start some conversations around recovery that would land in someone agreeing to have a conversation with someone in need. I went into a watering hole. Whether or not it was the best one, it could be debated. But I found a watering hole, started to talk to as many people as I could, and I actually never got a message back. None of the people that I reached out to, and this was through Facebook Messenger that I was actually doing the reaching out. None of the people that I reached out to through Facebook Messenger ever reached back to me at all. So, in retrospect, obviously it wasn't the best watering hole. If I needed something done that day, then I needed a connection that was a bit harder to ignore. I needed a mode of communication that was a bit more direct and instant than Facebook Messenger was. Now, maybe it's because people don't get on Facebook every day, but I've got a phone and I know that notifications ring off whenever someone sends a message. So that probably wasn't the case. I believe that within the watering hole I went to, people have a certain expectation of who will be reaching out to them. And getting a message from the founder of an addiction recovery company might have been a bit off-putting. And so I think it's natural for people who are in an uncomfortable situation to either walk away from that uncomfortable situation or ignore it until it goes away. And that is what I believe happened with yesterday. I was just simply ignored. Which means that I need to find a better place to be. I need to go to where there's a more open crowd would probably not be the right way of saying it. But I need to go somewhere and try a different method of communication, I'll say. I would say that Facebook Messenger, for people who you are not quite that connected to, is probably not going to be the best idea whereas it comes to trying to find a sponsor or a peer. I think that Facebook Messenger implies a certain amount of connection that you already have with the people who are reaching out to you, and it's probably now that I think about it, it's I normally consider it myself pretty odd whenever someone reaches out to me on Facebook Messenger that I'm not already friends with. And so I could see how that would lend itself to the result that I got. To finish the recap, it didn't happen. I learned that I need a different method of communication. And I also learned about the value of preparation. I spent so much time yesterday doing things that were not the creation of the video or the finding of the sponsor. I spent time cleaning my office setup so that I could do a new take where you saw my desk. It took me at least 30 minutes to get started. I was late starting to shoot because I was working on another business conversation. So I was 30 minutes late to begin with. It took me 30 minutes to ideate what this content was going to be, and then another 5 minutes to decide to convince myself to get into it, because as I said in the beginning, this is the most courageous content I've created to date. And it took me a second to just push myself over the edge to get going here. And then it took me 45 minutes to clean up my office setup. Was that valuable? Some could say yes, some could say no. It's what happened. So I spent 45 minutes there just cleaning my office setup so that I could do a second take, which I believe is going to be valuable in the future. So I've got a list of failures and a list of things that I've learned. A list of pros, I guess, to those cons. A good pro is that I've now got a clean setup that I can use for a second viewpoint. We can switch to another viewpoint right now. Actually, we will. Did you guys like this was like a Jedi mind trick where at the end of the Jedi mind trick, I'm at a different perspective. You tell me if it was hot or not. You tell me whether you would have just did the worm first. Bam! That's cold. I'm gonna try that. I probably will try that in the future. Anyway. As I was saying, I learned a lot of things actually. But I would say that I did get some pros to the cons of this process. One pro is I now got a clean office setup. I can now have a different perspective. Second take. Everybody likes it. Everybody likes multiple perspectives. And I now can use another perspective due to the work I did yesterday. Also, I learned that Facebook Messenger is a terrible method of communication if you're trying to connect with someone in recovery. It's odd. And you already don't want to have conversations around recovery with people who you don't know. Facebook Messenger is not the route. Maybe if I was connected to the person, we were already friends, it would work, but things are just different. Things are just different. It doesn't work that way if you don't know the person at all. What else was a pro to this con? I'm a fly, of course. Check me out. Anyway, I did get pretty fly for these videos. Is that a pro? I mean, that's really nothing. I would say a pro is just the learning. Just the learning process of figuring out how receptive people were when it comes to reaching out, to random people on Facebook for this thing. I mean, I was essentially cold emailing, cold calling, cold messaging people, and it didn't quite work out as well as I wanted it to. So those are the pros to the cons, and I'll do better next time. This journey is not over, but this video is. And with that, I bid you adieu, my good lady, my good sir. Bye-bye. Everybody likes multiple. Everybody likes. Skip it. Oh, whatever I was doing there, it was going to be dangerous and it was going to knock over my expensive camera, and I am not doing it. I take it back. But yeah, later.